All
A long
right.
overdue episode. Jeremy's going to walk us through the secret weapon on LinkedIn outreach.
Okay, Jack is just having fun at me because I say like, Jack, I got something. It's working like crazy. And he's just basically telling me that he's been doing it like for 3 years or so. But anyway, I'm excited. And today really the idea is how can you get like hot leads? And on LinkedIn, it's pretty easy once you know what people are interested in because they will start on commenting on posts or commenting on their favorite influencers. Like we all seen those posts that says, comment, reply, and I'll send you, the
Yeah.
10 tips on whatever. And then you have like
Secret to
200
life. Yeah.
people. Yeah. And then the cool thing is that those people who actually comment on those posts are people who are active on LinkedIn straight away. So maybe there was a way to tap that, and I'm going to start the 10 minutes timer. So otherwise,
Let's
we
do
will
it.
rumble.
Okay.
And yeah, how do we approach that? Like, how do we
Okay.
maximize our chances of replies through LinkedIn outreach?
Uh, Perfect question. So let's first like kind of ID what happens if you do LinkedIn outreach incorrectly. You might be sitting there saying, "Oh, these people aren't really using LinkedIn. Nobody's accepting my connection rate." Or maybe they do, but they don't care about the thing you're talking about. Enter LinkedIn activity as your signal. And what better way to use that to find hot leads than post engagement? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jeremy, you asked, like, how do you use this in order to find hot leads? Like, where would you start? The beautiful thing, Jeremy, is you don't even need to go viral. You don't even need the $1 million idea post that changes everything.
It's true.
Instead, you just what do? You see what your competitors have already done, right?
Yes, that's true. I so the thing that works very well with me is events because then that means like people are in that mindset, or like if something just happened, like you could say things like, hey, have you had a chance to go at that super thing? Like, especially if you always have people that say, oh, I'm excited to go to that conference, and then you got like plenty of people who actually comment on that. Then you could just basically go and say, reach out to everyone who react and just say like, hey, do you have, are you going to this conference as well, in your topic, of course. Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't do like, I don't know, like hunting hunting
Yeah, right.
conference when
Ultimate
you're actually
frisbee. Right.
yes.
And yet, let's unpack why this is very
So
exciting for anyone trying to use LinkedIn for adding business. It's allows you to identify people through two filters that are like essential for being your buyer. Number one is if you're going to use LinkedIn outreach successfully, you need to find people who use LinkedIn. So I always tell
yeah,
people LinkedIn has 1 billion users, but only 200 million of them actually use it, right? So the game is not get everyone to engage with you. It is to identify the 200 million that are there and pay attention. The post filters out everyone who's not on LinkedIn. It's just the one, like, you can't engage with a post unless you are a LinkedIn, real user. So that's the
right.
first filter. And then something that's hard to get elsewhere is these psychographic signals like, oh, they are interested in the inbound conference in San Fran that was next week or something, which indicates that they are thinking of how AI search is changing stuff, right? So it lets you see who's active and who cares about the thing you're selling.
Yep, that's brilliant. And I am did you see a difference between going for a certain topic or actually using for time? Like, is there some stuff I need to look at, like maybe a certain influencer or like competitor? I think it's a great idea, the competitors as well, where they're
Yeah.
actually going and commenting on stuff. Or
I think it's a little bit simpler, Jeremy. It's like which posts are spot on my topic that has a lot of engagement, and I just start there. It oftentimes is from a competitor, and I like when that happens. It means this is like bottom of the funnel list building for outreach. You know what I mean? Like they're
yeah,
already following your competitor, so therefore, of course, they get outbound or in whatever you're selling, right? And what's funny, Jeremy, is it doesn't even have to be that recent. It could be like 2 months ago if you were like commenting to get a book all about optimizing AI search. You probably still care about it now.
How would you actually do it? Like for the conference, it's pretty easy, like I mentioned, because you basically reference that event particular in time.
Yeah,
And so people know because they're in that frame of mind that, oh, there's this conference that happens right now. Everyone's excited in my timeline, whatever.
right.
So how would you do that more like, let's say someone is asking for, I don't know, like a PDF on the top 5 ways of doing outbound or whatever it
Yeah.
is, right? How would you
Um,
actually engage with that?
so I don't try and get too clever with it. The first thing I'll do is I'll send a connection request like, hey, we both like following Jeremy for outbound tips. Let's connect. I don't overthink it. And that generally is
Does
going
that
to get
work?
40%. Yeah. Like I would expect
Okay.
40% connection rate on that because I know for a fact that they use LinkedIn and they like Jeremy's stuff. So I'll lead with that. And then the question becomes like, how do you insert yourself in this conversation they're already having, right? And so my recommendation is like take a two-prong approach where like the first prong is just get an engagement, whatever, something, get them to respond. You could say something like, hey, did you end up downloading that guide? Was it helpful?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Pause. It has nothing to do with
Yeah.
what you say, but pause and check them out.
Yeah.
A lot of times they'll say yes or no, or they may give you a gold nugget where it's like, yeah, but it didn't say anything about why, and it'll give you
Oh, I
your
didn't
opener.
receive it.
There
Oh,
you
you
go.
want mine?
So then, yeah, so that's not bad. Like you might be like okay, find out if they got it. If they did, you can maybe share your resource, but I would I don't like sharing the resource to start it off. I'd go a little bit more direct. Like, have you got this solved? Question mark.
All right.
And like let the pain start the conversation, if you will.
I love that.
It it needs a little bit of finessing, but I love the do whatever you can to get that first engagement because it's a conversation platform, and then from there do that dance to kind of position. But you could do worse than just bring up a pain point. Was that what you needed to X? Is this, is that still annoying? It took me weeks to figure out how to figure out whatever pain point.
Nice. Well, one thing we didn't talk about during the cast, but we talked a bit earlier as well, is obviously you don't want to engage with everyone who is interested in that topic because they may
Yeah,
just
a
not
lot
be
of
part of your
competitors too.
ICPs. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's true actually. I
I
had to
got a few.
remove I had to remove a certain domain from,
There you
when I
go.
import from reaction on post, I have to
Yeah,
exclude a certain domain because I don't want them to even know that I'm doing those outreach.
correct. And I'll give you like an insider tip. I mean, you really just have to uh, take the list and then enrich it, and then decide if they stay or they go. So some obvious ones is, if you only serve a certain geographic area,
Makes sense.
you can kick out people. Yeah. So for the practitioners listening, I like Apify's. They've got a number of LinkedIn enrichment APIs, and you could scrape the post, upload it to Apify, and it'll like grab their work details and then spit it out into a CSV. And then from there, you can be like, all right, well, there's 400 people that engage, but only 80 of them look like my guy or
Mm-mm-mm.
gal. And then I'll work on that list. I don't really see another way around it unless your audience is real broad. You got any hacks on that?
Well, you could use quick mail and ICPs, but
Oh, there you
that's
go.
another thing.
I mean, what a concept! I love this, but it's new, right? Is it
Yeah.
released?
It's new.
Okay.
It's new. But
Um,
what other things should we pay attention to when we're actually doing this? Like, is there a problem maybe with the volume, like the number of connection requests we're sending, or messages we're sending? Like, is
yeah,
that something
that's
we need to be
that's not
slightly
top of my
paying
radar
attention?
because those campaigns. I mean, Jeremy, you want to share some stats on like what you've
Seventy
seen with the
percent, a 70%
connection rate,
connection
acceptance rate?
Yes, it's
So
fucking crazy.
here's what I'm thinking, Jeremy.
And
If you are
50%
hitting
reply rate.
How much fun. Now we're
This
having
is
fun. This is cool stuff. Yeah.
like,
And having both of us have been around the outbound game long enough, I'm just like, let's bask in this glory time period for a little bit longer, guys. Let's not shut down the 70% connection rate just yet. Let's kind of milk this while we can. And if you're not on it yet, do it now because it's not forever. Anyways, those of us getting 70% connection request acceptance rates probably don't have to worry about LinkedIn's limits like the rest of the mortals out there because LinkedIn likes that kind of engagement activity. So they're gonna loosen up your volume. So I'm paying less to the number and really more on like, are you utilizing this very good strategy well? Because there's only so many posts per week that catch fire that are in your industry. You don't want to burn through that list with a crappy connection request
it's a
or
fair
with a
point.
hard sell that's just going to waste the opportunity.
But that's a fair point. Just to make sure I don't get that too hard, and we got like a few seconds left. What happened if, I mean, for me, I use like 25 at the moment. Like I raised slightly my
Okay.
numbers. I use
Okay.
25 a day connection request. Do you think it's like too much or like,
No, no way, no way. If you're doing with those stats, you're safe. I mean, have you been like throttled back by LinkedIn yet?
nope.
Okay, you could climb a little bit.
Well, are we
And
talking like double, like 50 or like?
no, during COVID, you could. The only way you can. So there's like, there's some ways, but if you do the mobile connector, have you seen this?
Oh,
Like you
yes. Okay.
send a simulated connection request from the mobile. That is a way that you can get close to 50. I've seen campaigns where it's like 28
Okay.
standard connection requests and then maybe an additional 20 on the mobile. And so you're
Okay.
there and
So
it's
I should
great.
stay around 25 then in this case. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you have 70, I mean, we're just talking about increasing it by four. If
Right.
you doubled it, Jeremy, I would say like, all right, we're asking for trouble. But what's cool though is now like 25 a day times 5 days a week. That's 50 times, so 125 right per week. At you're basically getting 100 new connections a week at those
Yeah.
rates at
Yeah.
25 a day. So your problem is not like how do you get more? It is how do you take the 100 new connections you're getting and do a lot with them. So I
Yeah.
would I would put your focus on maximizing the number of calls, conversions, whatever your metric is with those. It's not the volume. It's like, okay, great. Now, how are you going to get a quarter of them to say yes to that thing you want them to say yes to?
Got it.
And to do
And
that, it's a good offer. It's like, just proper salesmanship. I don't want to oversimplify it, but we're at time.
yeah, we have time. Is there a last quick thing like we need to tell the listeners about it or they need to pay
Yeah,
attention to?
use it now, ladies and gentlemen, because
Yep.
we've seen these come and go, and it would be a bust if you didn't get on it while you still
Yeah,
could.
it's too so easy. So if you want, someone else to do it for you because you don't have time for that, then go with SalesBread. And if you actually want to do it yourself, then go with QuickMail. I mean, easy, easy
Wow.
peasy.
Jeremy, nice touch on the outro and the sponsorship. Our sponsors are going to be really proud. They may buy us a lunch. Awesome. Well said. And thanks for suggesting the post. And if you're listening and you haven't tried it, please give it a go. And you can share your experience with it, make a comment below, or give us a shout out. Podcast
Podcast.
at quickmail.io and
That's
say what's up to
correct.
Jeremy and I. We'll give you a shout out on the next episode.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Jack.
See you, Jeremy.